Okay, going back to the chapter. At the end of the chapter is defined what these chosen teens or tributes must do. So one boy and girl from each district is placed in a closed-off arena that could hold any type of terrain. So it might be desert, cold,
Snowstorms, thunderstorms,
yeah,
anything.
all that.
Just use your imagination.
Yes. So these teams must fight to the death. The last survivor wins, and that their district is showered with gifts of food while others are starving to death. Well, yeah, starving to death. So
That's kind of why the other districts are sort of so well off.
yeah.
Like District 1 through 5. Because
Well, even I think it's like the career districts are 1, 2, and 3, like kind of about like so they're the ones that are doing pretty well off. You know, they're not complaining.
They're trained for it.
Yeah.
Like if you remember in the book, Clove was so skilled with using knives because
Yeah.
she's probably been handling a knife since she was what, 3?
Yeah.
So the districts, they're trained for this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And District 12 and District 11 thinking, well, they're gonna die anyway, so why are we gonna waste our time trying to train them?
Well, I think it's also just that off the top of my head I can't remember, but districts like 1, 2, and 3 they produce things for the capital like technology and stuff, so they're a little bit more advanced than District 12 just dealing with coal. So they have more to offer the capital. So the capital kind of it's like, oh, we're sucking up to you. We're gonna give you all these cool like gadgets, and then you can kind of like give us stuff so we'll be able to train and
Try to give us an advantage in
Yeah.
the arena.
so that our kids aren't gonna die.
Because how do you know that the capital is gonna be fair on this?
Well,
They're-
that's the whole point of the series. The capital is not fair. It's all rigged, you know? It's
Yeah.
like it's so unfair.
So like they're saying, oh yeah, you guys have fight to your death with everything, but they can still make things happen, such as the big fire that happened. That was trying to
Yeah. I mean, they could also just
hype.
end the Hunger Games. That would just kind of solve all these issues.
Yeah, that's not
But,
happening.
yeah.
so where else? Okay.
Where am I?
Okay.
So to make it even worse, the capital forces the people to treat the Hunger Games as a celebration, and in the end, celebrating their own children fighting and being killed. So, I mean, how much worse can you get? They're going to take your kids that are between the ages of 12 and 18. So these aren't like fully matured kids anyway. You have a 12-year-old, 7th grade in our, country. It's like that's just crazy. Like to have them fight to death. Like you have a little 12-year-old girl, like Rue, right? She was 12,
No,
fighting against.
yeah.
Yeah, she was 12,
No, should
fighting against.
14.
Was she 14?
Should it be 12 or 14?
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of those. You can correct us and send us an email. But yeah, she's whatever, young age, not even at the high school age yet, and she's fighting against these 18-year-olds who have bulked up and are ready to win the Hunger Games. It's just everything is
So like
unfair.
try to picture Rue against a guy like Thresh.
Yeah.
That's just
It's
like
and
a
also
boulder against a bug.
picture someone yeah. And picture someone that that's around that age. It's like imagine putting them in the arena with someone that is like 18. Like it just
I mean, and try to imagine killing somebody like that.
Yeah.
They haven't fully
if
lived
you're
their
18
lives.
and you're trying to you're trying to fight for your life, it's like, all right, now you're going to kill this 12-year-old. And you might know that 12-year-old. That could be your sister. Like, you don't... It's just so screwed up. It makes me so angry.
It's just an unfair...
Love the series, but it does, make me mad. Okay. So, and then Haymitch is introduced. Haymitch Abernathy.
Abernathy, yeah.
We're going with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So, the town drunk and the only victor still alive. So, only 2 victors in the history of District 12. So far, and Haymitch is a ripe age of, not really ripe age, more like, he's like 56, I want to say.
No, he'd be between late 50s, early 60s.
Somewhere in there, yeah. So, should have done more research for that. But yeah, so he's somewhere, kind of grandparent age, and so he's the town drunk, and he stumbles onto the stage to present Effie Trinket, who is from the capital, and that's District 12's escort. And she gives everyone a happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
I remember reading this book and seeing like the...
Oh, do you remember reading it?
No, I mean like the
Yeah.
like the scenes with Haymitch and Effie together.
Yeah.
They are the old married couple, to be honest.
Really?
They
You think they
bickered
have
at
like chemistry together?
No, I mean like they bickered at each other.
Yeah.
And they laughed with each other. They were just like, even though Effie found him revolting at sometimes,
Yeah. I think she
still,
kind of saw through, because, I mean, the whole reason he's strong is because he's been through these Hunger Games. He had to kill all these people. Like, to be the victor, you have to kill people. Like, you can't just hide and wait for other people to kill each other.
And he's also kind of gotten sick of trying to train these kids when they're going to die anyway.
He gets close to these kids, and then they go into the arena, and he's like, all right, have a nice rest of your life, and then they die. It's like, that has to be the worst job ever. Like, to be District 12's, I mean, he's a victor, but...
He has probably a supporter or trainer.
You know, he's the trainer for them, and just kind of crazy. But, yeah, so he's introduced. And as Effie reaches into the girl's glass ball, Katniss is praying it will not be her. It will not be me. It will not be me. And it isn't. It's her sister, Prince. So that's how it's left off. I thought... Well, let's see what you thought. So what do you think that... do you think that Collins left off the chapter in a good place?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, that's it? Okay.
It's like a flat-out answer because it makes so much sense. Keep the reader reading. Now, like, Katniss said she's... Now the reader's looking back. Well, Katniss said she's going to protect her sister. What is she going to do now?
Yeah. I thought it was just crazy, amazing chapter. I remember reading this for the first time like 2 years ago because we're juniors now going into junior year. And so I read this freshman year. And I was just blown away. Like, the first chapter, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to class. I just want to keep reading, like, you know. So I just thought it was amazing. You know, it definitely hooked us right in. Yeah.
I mean, when she handed me this book, she said, oh, you have to read it. It's going to be great. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. I mean, don't know really what it's about.
I compared it to Harry Potter. And I've been a Harry Potter fan since I was, like, 6. So I've been a Harry Potter fan for 10 years. And to compare something to Harry Potter, that's pretty big deal for me. So
the way my science teacher described it to me, this Hunger Games book, it was something about, she said it, exact quotes, something about a mutated bird.
Yeah, a mutated bird, like, okay.
I'm like, okay, well, that's
not even what it's about, though, so it's kind of weird.
I know, so I'm thinking about this,
this,
and I read the first page, I'm like, okay, this is nothing like it.
Yeah.
I finished the first chapter, and I was probably up to 2 in the morning the first night I read it.
Yeah, and you had finals the next day, right?
I had finals the next day.
It was crazy. So, I yelled at him the next day. I'm like, I'm glad you're into this, but, you know, you got to study. But that's all. If you want to know kind of how this all came about, the podcast, and our past with the Hunger Games series, you can go to our website, and we'll be plugging that at the end of the episode. But, yeah, and there's a whole section that I wrote about how it all started, how it began.
And then we haven't gotten to this yet, but we're going to go on and talk about our conceited selves. And stuff about us and everything.
Yeah, you know.
In case you have the time and you have nothing better to do with your life, just read about us. Yep.
So, okay, so that's it for Chapter 1. So, that was long. We're 51 minutes in. So, yeah, a little longer than I expected. But, hey, we got into it, so... we're still testing everything out, so definitely send us your feedback for anything and criticism, you know. Don't be too harsh on us, you know. This is our first podcast, by the way. It's not like we've done other podcasts. First episode of our first podcast.
And so, all right, our next segment is what we call Matt's Melodious Music. That's it.
Should we change the name?
We'll give it to like that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is that every episode, I'll play a song by a well-known artist or a Hunger Games fan-made song that connects to the novel. And so then once I play the song, we will give our interpretations of it, and then I will probably post it on the website so you guys can take a listen and send us your feedback. So this week, I selected a song title called The Hunger Games Theme Song by Memphiston. This is from a YouTube fan-made song, and so while I play the song, I want you guys to think about the book and how you pictured it and see how this piece really fits into it. Because while listening to this song, I really had a strong connection with it. So.
What are you doing?
I can't.
Control, and then you click it. I'm going to teach you how to use a computer.
Right? No.
Can you do it? No?
Is it not working?
Just copy and paste it.
Sorry.
We need a little, like, elevator music for this part.
No, Google Docs is just...
No! Get half of it. We will be more professional in the future. Yeah. We're on Google Docs, and, you know, all those problems with Google Docs, so...
No, I don't... Okay.
Okay. Just copy paste up there.
Okay. Sorry, guys. This is just
Yeah.
not.
You know computers.
Okay. Let's see if we can get this. So I think. Oh shoot. I think I'll just talk about this a little bit. They no.
Oh.
The book. Well, what am I talking about? The song has a very slow piano entrance, which kind of gets you thinking just this romantic kind of aspects
Yeah.
of Katniss and Peeta. Here we go. Alrighty. I'm sorry that was a little too long, but you know it's the first song, so and I'm sorry about our little technical difficulties there.
We'll be better in the future, we promise.
Yeah. So when listening to this song, I started thinking of the footsteps of Katniss running through the woods of the arena,
Mhm.
because you have that very beat
kind
of the piano playing, and that's a constant thing throughout the entire song. If you listen closely, you can still hear the piano. And as the song grew faster and louder, I started